the city in the Bible?
I am unable to. Tyrus, also known as Tyre, was a wealthy Phoenician city in the Bible, famous for its maritime trade and the cedar wood used in King Solomon's temple. It was a powerful island in mainland Port City.
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to start off by giving all praises, all blessings, all the glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, whom I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the elect men, those who are pushing this word in all truth and in diligence, all right, risking their life and livelihood in so doing, especially in these days and times. All right, and shalom to the women and children who are watching and learning. All right, the name of this lesson is going to be Last Days. All right, and this is something that I'm just jumping into uh, to ensure that I get videos off. This one is going to be called Last Days, and it's just going to be a series. And this one is going to be, you know, as we go into prophecy, we know that economic collapse. All right, an economic collapse is going to take place. All right, because the Bible speaks prophetically of people raiding each other's homes, raiding each other's businesses. People. The women will be trodden down like the mire in the streets. Okay. It's going to be a great judgment against Israel, okay, as well as the heathen from the Most High, all right? And, spiritually, if you can receive it, all right, this is why I look, asked for an AI image of the city of Tyrus, all right, or Tyre, okay? Because America, all right, is spiritually, okay, is spiritually Tyre or Tyrus, okay? Oh man, what happened to the definition? Okay, it says Tyre or Tyrus or Tyre in the Bible was a powerful Phoenician island city, all right, and major Mediterranean trading port known for its massive stone walls, all right, purple dye industry, and prophecies against it by Ezekiel and Isaiah. Okay. Okay, here's something. Okay, this place, Tyre, still exists. Okay, it says archaeology. It says, see if I can highlight this right here. Okay, it says archaeology. Today, okay, see, it still exists. Okay, just like Babylon. Right, those places still exist. So we know that when it's, talking about these places being destroyed, all right, spiritually, that's talking about another place that is compared, all right, which is America. Okay, so right now, okay, today, the ancient city of Tyre is a UNESCO World Heritage Site featuring extensive Roman and Phoenician ruins, including a grand hippodrome and triumphal arches. Okay, so you can still see this place. All right, but okay, America, or Tyre, or Tyrus, all right, is going to be destroyed. All right, and so we're going. Okay, this, this lesson that I'm, going through the last days. All right, financial or economic collapse. All right, I'm going into that because that is a part of the last days of the end times. All right, and so I'm going to jump right into Ezekiel 27. All right, I'm going to jump all the way down. I'm not going to deal with the whole chapter. This is just going to be a short video. You could go into these, into the lesson. All right. So I'm going to start. Um, all right. Ezekiel 27 and 26. I'll start there. All right. Ezekiel 27 and 26. It says, thy rowers have brought thee into great waters. Look at this. The east wind has broken thee in the midst of the seas. All right. And let me look at this in another, try this in the NLT. I must be allowed to try it in the NLT. Let's see. Oh, man, this phone, this device that I have. Come on, let me get it. Let me get it. That's it. There it goes. Where was I at? Okay. Ezekiel 27 and 26. It says, but look. Okay. Your oarsmen have taken you into stormy seas. A mighty eastern gale has wrecked you in the heart of the sea. And so now, all right, let's look at this word. Okay, so I'm going to go to the King James Version, go back to that if I can. Somehow this device won't let me and it's not turning. It's not flipping. So it's kind of hard to all right. Let's see. Okay, the word for rowers, rowers, Rower, is the word soot, shoot.
Strong's H 7751. Shoot. Shoot.
Shoot. All right. For rowers, it says properly to push forth, but used only figuratively to lash. All right, i.e., the sea with roar with oars. All right, to row, by implication, to travel, go. Okay, about, through, to and fro. All right, to and fro. And Satan does what? He goes to and fro. Oh my goodness, throughout the earth, right? Okay, so and whose ships are going to and fro in the earth right now? All right, America. Once their that other charger. Once upon a time, their ships went out with goods. All right, products that were made here in the USA, but you no longer have that. All right, there's no products really too much that are made here in the USA besides weapons. Okay, that's what America now exports. Okay, weapons, military weapons. All right, weapons of mass destruction. So on and so forth. All right. Um, their Navy. What's going on? What's going on? 1 second. America's Navy, its military. Okay. Now they're going out. All right. But it says, but look, your oarsmen have taken you into stormy seas. Let's see what stormy is here. All right. To great waters. Okay, so it doesn't say stormy. It says you have brought you into great. Instead of stormy, it says great seas, right? But up here it says, I've taken you into stormy seas. But this says great seas. Okay? And the word there is rob.
Strong's H 7227. Rav. Rav.
Rob by contracted from abundant in quantity, size, age, number, rank, quality, abound. All right, captain, elder, enough, exceeding, full, great, increase, long, many, ship, master, mighty, more, much, multiply, officer, oftentimes, plenteous, populous, prince, process, of time, suffice, lent. All right. So it says but look, your oarsmen have taken you into stormy seas or great seas. All right. Uh, a mighty eastern gale has wrecked you in the heart of the sea. Okay. Now you know America has hundreds of freight, or what do you call them? You could call them freight um, ships that travel to and fro throughout the earth. Okay, and what's happening now is what you just recently had over in Egypt. You know, some of these freighters have begun being hit, okay, by Iranian targets. Okay, and so now, okay, those Iranians are pretty much that storm that's in the sea. Okay, and things are uh, getting out of hand. Uh, and pretty soon, okay, because they need an event that's going to push the MOTB. All right, they're going to need an event to push that mark of the beast real soon. Okay. All right. Um, it says everything is lost. Okay, your riches and wares, your sailors and pilots. Okay, your ships, your shipbuilders, merchants and warriors. On the day of your ruin, everyone on board sinks into the depths of the seas. All right, and that's ultimately talking about America as a whole. Okay, America as a whole is going to be destroyed. Okay, and all of his, but all of his riches. Okay, it's riches and wares. Okay, that's going to fall. Your sailors and pilots, the military. Okay, scriptures tell us, the nations, roughly paraphrasing, the nations shall be gathered in the valley of decision. All right, of Jehoshaphat. All right, Yahweh Shaphat. Okay, uh, that's ultimately where this war that's going on with Iran is going to lead to. All right, your shipbuilders, merchants, and warriors. All of this, America is going to lose all of this. Okay, everyone on board sinks into the depths of the sea. So America is going to go down like the Titanic. All right. Your cities by the sea tremble as your pilots cry out in terror. All right. And so, this is going to be broadcasted, in the media. All right. Once Russia and China, the scriptures tell us about the princes of the East. All right. Once they rise up, okay, to the battle, all right, hey, it's gonna get wild. All right, it's gonna get wild, and they're gonna have to come with a draft. All right, draft is, we're warning you now. A draft is coming. All right, get ready. These 2/3 YNs, they want to call themselves YNs, and YH's young hoes, can't keep their clothes on, can't, they listen, they are about to be destroyed. It's about to be destroyed. All right. All the oarsmen abandon their ships. The sailors and pilots stand on the shore. Okay. So it's going to get heated. Okay. To the point to where, hey, the U.S. has a good Navy and Air Force, but once China and Russia get involved in this thing, and some of these other countries, it's gonna be, they're not gonna, they already don't want to go in the water. Okay, go out. All right. It says they cry aloud over you. Okay, and weep bitterly. They throw dust on their heads and roll in ashes. All right. So these other countries, they're going, they're going to have a fit as well, because guess what? Everything that that came from America, all of the products, all of the new trends, all right, it's going to be lost. All right, they're not going to be able to sell that merchandise anymore. Okay, America still has somewhat of some things that still go out that these other countries receive, like maybe farm vegetables, certain things. All right, weapons. They're not going to. They're not. These. A lot of these countries love to get their hands on these weapons here in the United States. There's a movie called the God of War. Okay, with Nicolas Cage. All right, where he goes around the world, and he's they love him, man. They was loving him, man, because he was selling them guns. All right, selling them weapons for cheap. All right. Verse 31 says, they shave their heads in grief for you and dress themselves in burlap. They weep for you with bitter anguish and deep mourning. All right. And so, these other lands, that depend on America, that's used to making their money from off America. Okay. Those businessmen, they're going to be weeping. They're going to be mourning deeply. All right. Because they're not going to be able to make that living, that money anymore. Verse 32 says, as they wail and mourn over you, they sing this sad funeral song. Was there ever such a city as Tyre, now silent at the bottom of the sea? And yeah, that's what's going to happen in America. Now, as you just saw, the historical proof. Okay. What does it say? Today, the ancient city of Tyre is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, featuring extensive Roman and Phoenician ruins. So you can see it. Okay. But in verse 32, it's telling you about a place that is on the bottom of the sea. Okay. And it's going, and that's going to be America. All right. It's going to be totally destroyed. All right. It's going to come to an end. The only thing that's going to be here, it's going to be bugged out as desert animals and creatures. All right. It's going to be like the Saharan desert. All right. It says the merchandise you traded satisfied the desires of many nations. Kings at the ends of the earth were enriched by your trade. Yeah, and that's how America made it. Okay, first off of the blood of the Israelites. All right, during slavery. All right, in which all of the tribes went into slavery together. Okay, they were oppressed together, as the scripture says. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Okay, and that's what made America rich. Okay, 400 to 500 years of free labor. Okay, the merchandise you traded satisfied the desires of many nations. Kings at the end of the earth were enriched by your trade. Now you are a wrecked ship, broken at the bottom of the sea. All of your merchandise and crew have gone down with you. All right. And, everybody's going to go down. All right. All of these politicians, military individuals here in America, it doesn't, it seems far-fetched, but we are going to see this very, very soon in our time. All right. It says all who live along the coastlands are appalled at your terrible fate. Their kings are filled with horror and look on with twisted faces. Okay. They fucked up. All right. They're going to be fucked up over what happens. And this shows you, hey, they don't care about you damn Israelites. The rest of these nations, okay, they don't care about you Israelites. You're going to have Ammon. Okay. They're going to be fucked up in the head. Okay. And a lot of these other heathen, Ham, okay, they're going to be hurt, fucked up, butt hurt. Okay, in other words, over what's about to happen. Verse 36, and I'm going to end it here, says, the merchants among the nations shake their head at the sight of you, for you have come to a horrible end and will exist no more. Okay, because after Esau comes out of power, then Jacob will come into power. All right. So it's, as soon as this devil implements that chip, all right, implements that MOTB, we are out of here, bros. We gone. All right. We're gone. All right. And, everyone's concerns and all of that, man, it's going to be, addressed at that time. All right. Everything that we fought for and stood so stiffly for in this truth, okay, we are going to see it. All right. We're going to see it, Lord willing. Lord willing, I'm one of those people, man. All right. So that's all I'm going to do on this video. Lord willing, you were edified, and this is just a part of my last days lessons. All right, just quick lessons, boosters for brothers, sisters, and listeners, to listen, man, we're here. Okay, what you're seeing happening in Iran is part of the end. It's part of the end game. All right. So if that being said, till next time, shalom.